So, what 10 places has your husband been waiting for you at? Where are of course, there are a list of other places, and you should check the description lists below this video so that you can get my book, very affordable, of the 50 places to meet the man of your dreams. Okay. But today I want us to highlight 10 places that your man has been waiting for you at, but maybe you haven't really been paying attention to. One of the important feedbacks that I get for the work that I do is that many people have reverted back, sharing how their mind has been expanded, their thought and thinking pattern has been expanded, and they have started to see a different result as a different as a direct impacts of what it is that they are learning. So they started to see things in a different light and in a different perspective. And I think that that is really powerful because, like I would say, like I've said in other videos, I do not think that there is necessarily, I don't want to get into that in this particular video, but marriage, since God created it, is one that He has prepared for His will. And the choosing of man and woman did not really used to be a prayer point back then. And there's nothing wrong, because we should commit everything to God's hand and not lean on our own understanding. So this is not saying don't pray for your spouse or don't pray about your spouse. Please don't get it wrong. I'm a person of faith, and prayer is an important part of my life and the work that I do. But I'm saying that many times in this generation, many people seem to be concentrating on just the prayer part, and they are not doing the work that comes with mind shifting and reorientation of some of the biases they are dealing with, and a host of other things that many times when people have to work with me personally, we then discover and we see that it has been blocking their way, and then they start getting a different result. So if you are watching this video, whether this is your first video you're watching of me, your second video, your third video, we can work together. Okay, I put out this content as my love gifts for you, to make sure that, well, for those who are wondering whether they should work with me or not, or for those who are just passing by, or for those who are even at least searching to even find me, so that they can get valuable content like this to even get started with. And so many testimonials from the free content that I put out here on YouTube. So hey, a lot of the reason for delay in marriage, of course there's some genuine reason and there are some special cases. Okay, in every case and in every situation there are exceptions. For instance, let's use the example of people who are trying to conceive. You have people who have tried everything and it did not work out, and you have people who are trying naturally, and they just added one scientific method which was given to doctors and medical practitioners by the wisdom of God, by the way. They just added it, whether it's IVF or the other methods that are available. And before you know, this couple, they get pregnant and they move on to start building the family. It is the same thing with this meeting your husband thing. For some people now, they do not, they pray. I want to get to my thoughts, because I wanted to give an example of the marriage, but let me just talk about the side, the trying to conceive, as for instance. For some people, they have been praying all the while regarding conceiving the fruit of the womb, and their answers have always been in front of them. All they needed to do was to expand and stretch their faith and understand that even the scientific age that is being proposed to them for them to use is also God breath and God given. Now, except a person gets an explicit instruction like, oh, don't do this, don't do, oh, then that is a different case entirely. But in today's world, there are many prayers that God has already answered with inventions and solutions, with coaching and resources. It's just like saying, oh God, how can I stop being lazy? Do you know that God has answered that prayer with thousands of books? There are a lot of books talking about habits, talking about productivity. Do you get? So there are a lot of things that we need to start orientating ourselves with, especially as people of faith, to understand that, hey, when I pray, I must be open to receiving the answer that God has given to me. And I must start by looking around me first. Sometimes some people are thinking that, okay, the angel is going to come down and give my answers. There are times where you have encounters like that, but it's not always that the you're going to get your answers through the angel coming down. You're going to get your answers a lot of times, maybe more times than that's the angelic encounter with books, with preaching. It could even be a teaching in church. With my hair is entering my with it could be with a video like this, with the books, with a coaching, with a conference. And many people's life has gone on to be changed and been transformed as a result of them being open to their answers. I'm starting out that way because I want you to know that sometimes, and that's what I've been preaching for the longest time regarding this meet your husband movement that we are building, and the meet your husband belief, knowing that, hey, God is not trying to just withhold your man from you. Okay? God is not also trying to withhold you as his woman from your man. Sometimes it's just some earthly bias that is blocking you both from meeting each other. And once those things have been cleared out, you both can meet each other and start walking together with your in line with where God has called you to be. And more importantly, there's even something I wanted to say. Thank God I remembered this point. Thank you, Holy Spirit. I'll give the example, this the for those who are waiting on the fruit of the womb, the equivalent of scientific inventions helping a lot of people give birth and become parents in this day and age, right? So it is right now with marriage. So like I said, because it's new doesn't mean that it is not God, but you have to be discerning, because nowadays, more than ever, there are many people out there saying they are doing this, they are doing that. So I can understand if you're a bit weary, like, hey, everybody now is trying to help a person get married. I don't think many people, but, anyways, I understand how you feel, but you have to understand that God has sent someone like me, God has sent me to do this work, to be able to close that gap. Because, hey, for some people, it's just ignorance. For some people, it's just bias. For some people, it's just a mental blockage. Is that the right word to use? Anyways, mental short sights. Yeah, maybe that is what I'll use. And if they can see better mentally, then they'll be able to understand that, hey, they can step into this knowing that they are going in with God. So let's start out with this. That's enough pep talk for the beginning of this conversation. Let's start out with the 10 ways, which is why you are here, right? Number one, online communities. We are in a very, after the COVID and after the pandemic, we moved, things change in the world. Things change in the world, and it's not going back to how it was. Sorry. So, oh, my mother I know meet my husband through my mother I know meet her husband this way. My mentor I know meet her husband this way, that way. Well, were they born after the pandemic, or did they just get married after the pandemic? As an example, I've just given an example. Even before the pandemic, a lot of these changes were happening. Talk more about that pandemic happening in 2020. So I'm saying all this to say online communities is the new physical community. And when I say online community, it could be Facebook groups, it could be coaching groups and coaching networks that you belong to. It could even be church groups. It could be professional network groups. You know, we have all these groups in different hosted in different places, whether it's Circle or Mighty Network or WhatsApp or even Slack. There are different group and online communities with different interests. It is important that you understand that your husband can come from part of these places. I'm not going to go down into the nitty gritty of how and all that, because these are things that I speak about in other videos. Okay, I speak about it in other videos, how that can happen, all of those things. So that this video is not too cumbersome, we keep it to the main purpose. But the online community thing is one that you should be open to, and you should know that, hey, my husband can definitely be a part of this community. And if a guy approaches me from this community or any of the communities that I'm a part of, I should not shush the person off. I'm saying it because women, even at the time I'm recording this, still think or still expect or still desire their husband to come from one particular, they have like an expectation. Maybe they want their husband to come from their church, or they want their husband to, so there's just this destination that they've put in mind that no, this is how they want it. And trust me, many times it's not really how you want it that it will come. It's not like it will not come, but it may not come how you want it, because God is the one that knows best. So, what I really teach is I teach you to open up your mind so that when the opportunity to be prepared and open up your mind, so that when the person is reaching out to you, you are quick to recognize, because it's not like there's a drought of good men. It's just how many women are recognizing them. And that takes me to the next point, which is dating sites. I've done a video exclusively on dating sites, so I will try. I don't want to elongate this video to not over explain each point. So please check the Meet Your Husband playlist so that you can actually go and watch what it entails to do with dating style, how to get into that and all that. But if you are a person that's still cringing at dating sites, 21st century, I don't know for you. Recently, at the time I am recording this, it was shared that Winners Chapel Faith Tabernacle, founded by Bishop David Oyedepo. They are their church, okay? Faith Tabernacle Winners, however it is that you know it, or because I know it's called different things for different people. They started a dating site for singles. And well, I wasn't so surprised since I'm in this work, but it was interesting to still see people in 2024 saying things under the comment section like, they want to start hook up. Hey, be careful. And I'm like, you don't understand that the world that we're born into doesn't exist any longer. Churches are beginning to come to terms with that, and they're seeing a lot of people just roaming around, single people who are whole, and they're like, look, our church is very big. What is the probability of one person meeting another person meeting another person? Yeah, that probability has worked in the past and all that, but the world has now become, first of all, the world is way bigger and is more digitalized. So a lot of people are even using the online and virtual services to even confirm if they want to get into a relationship with somebody physically. And they're like, let us latch onto that. I wasn't there. I didn't plan it with them. But I'm just saying that that was a wise move, because if you know Winners Chapel, Faith Tabernacle, you know that it's a really big church. And they created a dating site, at least at this time that I'm speaking. And I don't know how it's going to be years later and whatnot, but at this time, we've created a dating site to help, I believe, their members. I don't know if it's going to evolve over time, maybe into a Christian dating site. But at this time, they're recording this to help their members meet each other. And I heard that there are some requirements that those people who are in their circle and are in their church space would understand. I don't want to get into that because yeah, I'm not particularly trying to sell or promote any dating site, but I'm just bringing that because if you're a church girl, you're still feeling like, or you are waiting for your church to create, and maybe your church is not ready to create, you are the one logging yourself out. I encourage you to go and watch that dating site video. It would help you, it will calm you down. I understand it's new, and dating sites has always been notoriously known for hookups, one night stand, and all those useless things. But people with the right spirit, including me, are stepping into the space to make things right. I also have a community for men and women who want to meet each other. You will find that in the description box. So I encourage you, at least be a part of two. Find what they're dating sites for. They're dating sites for Muslims, they're dating sites for Christians, they're dating sites for Catholics, and now even denominations are doing dating sites. Of course, not everybody's going to do dating sites in the whole world. So you want to find the one that is closest to the person that you know you can work together and you can agree. Okay. Enough said about that. Go and watch the video I recommended. The next place, the third place you can see your husband is in a different church. Me, I don't talk this thing. You can't be like say I don't tire. I am tired for women of always oh, you can limit yourself in your mind. It's not about saying no, I go out. It's not about standing up to go out. It's about what you're conceiving. Because if you don't expand your mind, or if you don't see it mentally, it cannot manifest physically. And the battle that I'm fighting with women, with future wives, is the battle of the mind. You are mentally chaining yourself down to thinking that your husband is only going to be in your church. Well, if God said it to you, or an angel appeared to another, all well and good. Because listen, we all have different consecration process, different instructions for the different assignment we have been called to do. So that's why I say there are always exceptions. I understand where there are situations where it is special and God explicitly tells you. I know a female preacher who got married outside her church. Yeah, she didn't get, I think outside her church. Then the guy now started being following her to church because she's a preacher in her church anyway. So they started going to church together as a family where she pastors. But she told God that she didn't, if she didn't want to get married, or she didn't want her husband to come from her church or something like that, because she didn't want to be distracted and all that. Our own is even the exception, because there are many people like her that are like, no, it must be in this my church. So I brought that up just to say that, listen, as a woman of faith, I understand you, and I guess when you you feel safer because the doctrine and everything, you feel it's just easier if this person is in your immediate circle. But you don't have to, it doesn't always have to be that way by restricting yourself. Beyond that, you should be more concerned and passionate about having somebody that is in the body of Christ. Because at the end of the day, isn't that who we are? We are children of God in the body of Christ, trying to establish his kingdom here on earth as it is in heaven. Or is any denomination special than the other? I will leave that question to you. I think I should close out that point by, well, it's not necessarily shade. I want to say by throwing shade, but not necessarily. A lot of men, they don't even hesitate. Like, they don't sneeze. They don't sweat it if they find a girl that they like and they want outside of their church circle. They're going to carry their bag, their heart, their love, and go and pursue the girl. Of course, they may then now bring the girl to church and all that. The girl can start going to church, but they're not going to. Men don't do, and I've given this example. There's Moses Bliss. There's so many examples I've given. Men don't, say, oh no, it must be. So maybe they do, but if they don't find someone there, they go outside. And I know that there are men who get married to women in their church, and I get. But what I'm saying is, do not limit yourself. Now, this doesn't mean you cannot get married to somebody in your church. It just means don't limit yourself. Because after all, you should be more concerned about getting married to somebody in the body of Christ, beyond being so strict and saying, no, it must be my denomination. But I'm not even ready to get into that, because that one is another conversation entirely. Your old school group is the fourth place that your husband has been waiting for you. There are a lot of people that are, their ego is not allowing them to do school reunion and all that. And I cannot even get it. Especially if you are single, I think you guys should be enthusiastic. Maybe the married ones in your school group. I'm not talking about classmates. I'm talking about school. Can be forming. No, I don't have the time. Even at that self, you don't know who you're going to meet in your school group. Who's going to be a partner to the next level, whether in your business or whatever the case may be. We all need relationship, and we should all cherish it. And we should all be open to, saying, hey, if of course, if the other person is open to say, hey, what do we have here? What can we explore? So there are people school of the school group who it is right for you guys to do a reunion. Maybe you should be led to do that reunion, to call for it, even virtually. But like, egos are just flying around. Everybody wants to try to be somebody to the next person, and it's hurting a lot of singles. So because your old school group is a good place, especially when there are people who are single there, maybe widowed, whatever the case may be. The truth is, it's actually a really good place. Maybe my favorite place even. Okay. Yeah. But okay, maybe you know why in another video. The fifth place, right? So this is the fifth place, is work. Some people close at, I cannot date my colleague, I cannot. And see, this is 2024, this is 21st century. I'm not saying that your work does not have these restrictions and all that, but you should be open minded, because your husband can be at work. Your husband, I know cases where people have had to, I know there are workplaces who now say, okay, declare your your relationship, let it be open so people will know and all that. So that, so there are all of these place um rules and regulations that are being put in work now to make it a bit better, but do not close your, remember what I said, it has to be conceived in your mind first. So maybe perhaps the problem I have with women, they're like, say, no, nothing, no, I'm free, oh," but their mind is closed off. That's the problem. You know what I'm talking about? Like, no, 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 I'm free, oh," but your mind is closed off. And me, I know it. People cannot, they may not see through it, but I see through it. Hmm. So work is a good place. Let me start to wrap up. The friend of a friend. There are friends who have friends that are single, and that could also be that could also be your husband. Those people could be your husband, potential husband. So if your friend is calling you to come and hang out and all that, I know a particular case of how the person literally, let me not move to the last point, but matchmaking and all that, how a friend of a friend literally matched made her two single friends, and today they are married. It was so simple yet so profound. The lady just came to visit her in her house. The lady was older, he's still older than her, and she's just like, you know what? I want to hook you up with someone. I'm not even joking. I'm like, and that's how they met. So, and today they are actually married. So these things still happen. Don't look at it and be like, stop scoffing at all of these things. Rest is going to be okay. It's going to be okay for you. So the friend of a friend, the seventh point the 7 point is interest meeting. So whether it's conferences, seminars, you should find time to go outside or go virtually, however it is that these conferences are holding. And I've spoken about this before. When you go for these things, please be present. Many people they're too much of a ghost, and I don't know. And it's not about saying notice me. No, there's a loudness that you not be like, that's not what we are saying. But we're saying be present, like make your present. Why are you even there in the first place if you are just going to be a ghost? So when you go for interest conference and meetings, whether it's spiritual conferences, mental conferences, emotional conferences, whatever, or even meetings or hangouts, try to be present and try to connect with other people because they're human beings, not just because you want to get married. This situation of I just want to, don't talk to me, I won't talk to you. The other point is volunteer opportunities. Find the volunteer. This one is even like the top of the list when it comes to people meeting their spouse, and I love it for them because it means that you both have a heart of service, a heart of serving something that do not necessarily have any monetary return for you. So volunteer opportunities are whether you're volunteering for a seminar, a conference, whatever the case may be, they are great opportunities where your husband could be waiting for you in your area. Some people are ashamed of where they live. I find this especially for those who are ashamed of where you live. Maybe you are living in a place like Oshodi, Mushin. Some of these places have even improved. I don't even think these places have stigmas anymore. When I think of these places, I don't think of them like low level areas. I'm serious. I don't. Maybe Gondo. You just feel, ew. Oh, I can never get married to someone from here. Take it easy. Oh. You better open your mind. You don't know. Never say never. Never say never. Your husband can actually wait for you in your area where you are living, whether you're living with your parents or you're living alone. And this, can you imagine? I'm talking as if the whole world lives in Lagos. But anyways, whether you're living in Aba, whatever, wherever, Warri, Port Harcourt, Zamfara, wherever it is that you're living, or outside of Nigeria, if your spouse could be in your area, there's a particular organization that started because this person, one of the inspiration was that this person's sister got married after being over 30 plus and desiring to actively get married. She finally got married to somebody who was, I think, according to his story, maybe 7 minutes away from where she used to live. So imagine, like, after I waited all these years, our houses are just like this. Like, it's so funny, but it is so true. And today they are married, and it inspired the starting of that dating app. So I'm saying it because these things are real. These things is not just points for content creation. No, these things are real with real. It's just that I don't want to elongate this video. I would have attached examples to everything, but for the ones that I've attached examples to, please know that it is serious. The ninth point is social media. I don't, do I need to explain this one? There are a lot of spaces where people are now saying, oh, you can meet your partner or comment or tell us about yourself on that comment. Don't be like, ah, which one got be this one again. Then if you are doing that, then you better be active on a dating site. I get that not everybody wants to be going under the comments to be saying, ah, I am Philomena, I am 6 foot, 6 days thing, I'm 32. Yeah, I get it's not everybody that wants to do it. But sometimes you can just push yourself out of your shell, or at least be doing five out. Let's if check this list of 10. Which one are you even active in? Ha! So people, that one is going to be your test. You will now know that because in the 21st century, things have really changed. Apart from the fact that things have even changed virtual and all that, is the fact that there's more fear about marriage. So back then, those days in our parent days where they'll just meet, boy meets girl, girl meets boy, and they just love up and just get married. A lot of times you see that some people that are around your immediate environment who you think, it could, this one could even be in your church, like, oh yeah, now, like, ask me out now, we're good, all that, let's get married. That person is still dealing with a lot. And that's one thing I see that is the problem when I started this work. It still is, and we're trying to solve it one step at a time. So you see that many times people are in love with people who are not ready to get married. So what do you want to do? You want to start flogging the man? You want to flog him that he must marry you? Sometimes the people that you like, you have a crush on, they're not ready to get married. As in, they're not ready, like they may not be ready in the next 3 or 4 years, that kind of thing. And it's not, they're not dating you. It's not like, oh, they're dating you, they're like, give me some time. It's the kind of, I want to stick around you, but I don't know what I want yet. There's that. So what do you want to now stick yourself, or you want to get hooked to that person? So explore and expand your possibilities. And finally, matchmaking. Matchmaking is the future. Listen, I need to even create another video for that. But the truth is, there's no shame in reaching out to someone like me, because I'm a professional marriage matchmaker. I don't matchmake for hookup. I matchmake for marriage purposes. Even if it doesn't work, that's fine. But that's the end goal of my own matchmaking, because matchmaking, different people have different intentions. Nothing wrong with signing up with a matchmaker like me and say, hey, I'm interested in, I'm really busy. This is happening, blah, blah, blah. Your husband is waiting at the other side of matchmaking. There's no shame in these things. So I want you to think, to share your experiences. What weird or interesting experience did you hear of how two people that you know or you heard about got married, and what is your own experience, or what other points can we add to this particular 10 points? Notice I didn't really talk about regular points. Some of the regular points you already know. I really went to speak about quite exceptional points that it's not like you don't know, but you're not exploring. Those points that you're not exploring, okay? So share your own thoughts together with me in the comment section. I am Sage now. I help successful single women meet and marry their husband, and also help men meet and marry their wives as well via the matchmaking process. And I create videos like this every week. Check the Meet Your Husband playlist to learn more and get to those videos that I've referenced in this video. I will see you in my next video. Make sure you subscribe, and like the video. Share this video as well. You can definitely see me in previous videos that you have missed. Thank you so much for watching.